Hey everybody, Danielle Hargan-Rader here, founder of Diabetes Dominator Coaching, best-selling author of Unleash Your Inner Diabetes Dominator, and your host for the Diabetes Empowerment Summit. Today, I'm really excited to bring you a couple that is going to talk to us about living in an empowered mindset with diabetes. I'm going to read you their bios, and we're going to get right into it. Damon Dash is a hip-hop mogul, serial entrepreneur, and type 1 diabetic since he was 15. He's the man who brought you Kanye West, Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, and Rachel Roy. He's started numerous companies in music, fashion, oil, liquor, wine, film, books, magazines, and now health, opening galleries all over the world, and his newest project, Dash Diabetes Network, launched on his own digital media platform, Dame Dash Studios. Raquel Horn, aka Wifey for Lifey, which I love, is a self-taught diabetic-friendly chef and wellness enthusiast. She has been by Dame's side every day for the past 10 years and has helped his companies grow and flourish, as well as spearhead some of his new projects, including Poppington and Poppington Pups. Damon and Raquel, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Very excited to have you guys here. So we're going to get started with the diabetes stuff right from the get-go. Damon, I would love to hear about what your story of diagnosis was like, and kind of we'll get a little bit into the path that has gotten you from where you were then as a 15-year-old to where you are now. But what was that like at diagnosis for you?
I mean, at diagnosis, I was relieved. I was happy. You know, I knew that I could continue to live because, you know, a month or two prior to that, I was really sick. I was losing weight. You know, the same thing every diabetic goes through when they first find out. You know, they get dehydrated and, you know, I lost weight. I thought I had something much worse, you know, and people in school thought I was dying. I didn't want to go to the hospital because I was afraid for the death sentence. And, but I just hated to feel that bad. I just wanted to feel better. Yeah. So when I finally got to the doctor and they told me all I had to do was put a needle in my leg, my blood sugar.
Speaking of diabetes, it's calling right now. That happens all the time.
Part of the game. That beeping noise is like part of it. It never gets taken out.
It's part of my life every day.
I feel you and I hear you.
When I found out, I was happy that all I had to do was put a needle in my leg to feel better.
Okay.
I thought what I had wasn't curable. So from then on, I was like, yo, life is meant to be lived, and I'm not going to take any second for granted. And I felt entitled to have everything everyone else had, if not more. And that's what diabetes has sort of been in my life. Okay.
So from the experience that you had, you didn't have an experience like a lot of people have gone through, like it was a grieving situation where it's like, hey, this kind of sucks. You were immediately relieved. And now, one of the questions that we've talked about throughout this kind of empowering feeling about being in control of your choices that a lot of people share is the information that you received at diagnosis. When you received that information, were your doctors forthcoming about what diabetes was? Did they tell you the fact that, hey, you have diabetes, but that doesn't mean anything other than the fact that you have to give yourself insulin to stay alive, and that means you can do anything you want with the rest of your life? Or were they kind of more downtrodden? What kind of information did you receive?
I was young, so it was vague. I remember, you know, diabetes is a very layered thing. You know, it takes a minute to really understand the layers, and you really have to be paying attention. A lot of people live their life diabetic and don't even really understand it the whole way through. Mm-hmm. And I can remember what I was told, but it's what did I really understand? You know what I mean? So all I really heard was, you can continue to live. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think, like, you know, again, I was a promiscuous young dude, you know, and this is right when things started to kick in with magic and all that. So I really thought that I got the death sentence, that you couldn't tell me no more. So I thought I was dying. And, you know, when you think you're going to die and you're sure and you feel terrible, and then someone says you can breathe, I didn't care what complications came with it. All I knew was that's just a needle. So I didn't understand what a reaction was until I had one. You know what I mean? And that happened in school, but it wasn't a big deal. I just went across the street, but I ate something stupid. I ate pizza. So at the time, I didn't know I needed a short, you know, something that reacted quicker, and, you know, nothing that was a carb that kicked in later. So, but it didn't really matter. You know, the first, I would say, if I'm 15, until I was about 20, until I had made some significant money, I always took my shots. But if I were to compare the way I took care of myself then till now, it would be a completely different story. You know what I mean? Like I didn't check my blood. You know, I just blindly would take 2 shots a day. You know, that's back when was that, and whatever I ate in between, if reaction came, it came. I wasn't into pricking my fingers. You see, as a child, you can't really fathom the future, you know? So I'm not thinking about some slow, silent killer that's going to my blood's going to wear down my organs, and I'm not seeing it. Like, you know, I wasn't thinking that far ahead. Yeah. So I was just like, it was always something I was like, I'll really focus on it later. So I guess my point is, those first couple of years, I don't think I was I wasn't really so worried about diabetes.
Right.
I'm amazed. I didn't know anything like this existed.
I like it.
I like this idea.
We showed people with diabetes something they'd never seen before. Inhaled insulin.
It's inhaled.
No, I would consider this. I could inhale it.
And you said you inhale it?
It's neat. It's really neat.
I like the design. It's very fascinating.
I don't know. I don't have the right words for this. I'm going to talk to my doctor. I'm going to find out if this is something that's for me. And if it is, we're going to make some changes.
Insulin you inhale. Ask your doctor if Afrezza is right for you. Go to Afrezza.com to learn more.